shirt's still on.
Were the guys, when I fell flat on my face, they were there to say, hey, Mike, get up, you can do it. They were there to pick me up, they were there to encourage me, and they were there to tell me the truth. Not today, because there was so much cheering. There were so many people just cheering. And it was loud, and it was rowdy. It was the fans. People today say, these fans are crazy. Hey, man, you are the greatest. I want you to know that it's because of you.
Put to rest this whole idea that them Green Bay Packers owned us. Because that team in that locker room, our Bears team, knew what was at stake.
Give sacrifice. You got to be able to have integrity. You got to be able to have character. You got to be able to keep coming back, no matter how tough, no matter how hard it gets. Keep coming back.
Coming into our house, we knew how much more we wanted this than they did. And we took care of business. Despite the fact that we were down early in this game, we were never out. We have just taken the rightful place as the damn division leaders of the NFC North, where we rightfully damn deserve.
Looking to throw, going deep, searching for DJ Moore, over the shoulder, catch, made, touchdown Bears! It's over at Soldier Field!
Chicago against the damn world. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. The light is on. Can you feel the Iceman coming? And he's coming with the chills. There is no quarterback more clutch, more quarter clutch than our quarterback. We ended that game the way it was supposed to end it.
It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It better get better. It better get better. Bears on three. 1, 2, 3.
There is a big reason why I chose that opener, because nowhere in there does getting fucked by the refs kind of fit right in, right? Like, good guys, it's execution, being prepared for the situations. That's what wins you football games. I keep going back to Bill Parcells in the 90s. More games are lost than are won in the NFL. And it's so true. You're just more likely to screw it up. The only reason Caleb got those opportunities to even like come back against the Packers is because Randall Cobb butchered an onside kick. I mean, you're more likely to just fail. I thought it was Randall Cobb, right? Wasn't it Cobb?
You're talking about his regeneration player, which is named Romeo Dobbs.
Dobbs. My bad. They are the same guy, Carl. They are totally the same guy in my mind. Yeah, you're right. It is definitely yeah, I know. My bad. It is Romeo
Couldn't
Dobbs.
let that one go, bro.
No, dude. It's totally fair. I was wrong. But dude, so like it triggered me because I saw this little short from Brian from Sports Podcast. He is a Packers fan, but they talk full NFL there, and he was talking about how people are complaining that the refs screwed the Bills over, and it's like, but they got, they had 5 turnovers. Guys, I hate that narrative. I thoroughly hate that narrative, and I'm going to tell you why. The refs can influence a game, and they do. I totally believe they do, and I'm not dismissing that at all. I think it is very. I think they're getting paid under the table, and I think some games are called a certain way, and I think specific games too. You can overcome that. Like, it's not a problem unless you lose, right? And so I started just even, doing some random statistics. So according to AI, which I know is whatever, but like that says refs really have like a 10% influence on a game. And this is kind of what I was thinking too, like 5 to 10% influence, which in the NFL is a ton. Let me tell you.
More than that, though.
It might be more than that because, and you're right, because it's the moment of the call that matters, right? Like a third down conversion, you're 5 for 10 on third down conversions. But if you missed the 5 in the first quarter and you got the 5 in the fourth quarter, those 5 that you got are actually worth more because they're in more of a clutch moment because the other team has less time to overcome it, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. If the calls are called at the end of the game, yeah, it's even more BS. It really is. And there are situations where refs have done that and decided a game. I think those are very few and far between from like the overall bitching that occurs. Guys, like you have, if they sway the game 10%, that means 90% of it's in your control. Right? So like at the end of the day, going out there, running a game plan, executing consistently, man, you might get a bad call here and it won't, you can overcome it.
Here is my concern. This is kind of like, because this is kind of a pop-up show because we're testing some new features in StreamYard for dual streaming, and we're streaming.
I had to get this off my chest too.
We're streaming this from Bearski's channel, but also to BCP. That's happened before, but there's a new way to do it. So we're trying to figure out like how it works and what's the best way to do it.
You guys want the head count?
3
on Bearski film, 18 on BCP. Shows you how much people watch me, right? So thank you guys. But okay, keep going.
Thanks for joining, guys. Yeah, thank you guys for like everyone's like, what's going on right now? We're not used to this. This is a Thursday show. Here's my concern about the refs, because my thumbnail title is different than yours. Mine is, should the Bears be worried about the refs in 2026? And this is why. There's a bunch of calls there's a few calls we should have gotten, roughing the passers against Caleb, but there's some in the playoffs. Like you could have, like the Cole Kmet, that beautiful 4th and 4 pass to Cole Kmet against the Rams in the playoffs. That could be a pass interference on the Bears next season, because in my opinion, I think that they kind of gave us those calls because we were the underdog and they kind of wanted us to get there. And I can't wait to hear what you have to say, Karl. But I think going into next season, we are going to be a favorite to maybe even win the Super Bowl. And I just think that by us getting absolutely fucked out of two third-round comp picks, considering the Chiefs got 2 third-round comp picks for Ryan Poles when he left, and he wasn't even an assistant general manager. I know I'm sure that the Bears are going to try to fight that, but in the end, the NFL will do whatever the hell they want to do. And I believe, and I've said this a million times before, I think that they're afraid of the Bears building a dynasty, because all the NFL owners, think about the Panthers and the Jaguars and all the little markets that they don't want to see. Of course, there's going to be more revenue, money for them, but they don't want to see us taking over the globe again and nobody talks.
We won one playoff game, dude.
Everyone chanting, "Let's go Bears."
We won one playoff game in like however many years. Calm down with the dynasty talk. Let's take it one step.
No. I'm saying I think that they're afraid of us becoming a dynasty with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams.
So listen.
If I could interject,
Carl, my bad. Go ahead, Karl.
So, to Dan's thought of saying, "Oh, next year because we are good, we are not going to get the calls that maybe we got away with because we were an underdog." I think it's the complete opposite. I think that you watched. We'll call it Justin Fields' best season of his career. I think that was 2022 when he had the 1,000-yard rushing. We were still clearly a very bad football team. We missed out on a lot of calls because that quarterback was, at the end of the day, no good. Caleb Williams, heir apparent to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the epitome of a player who's going to get the benefit of the doubt as far as calls from a referee just because of how good he is. And the Bears, if they consistently win and this quarterback is getting paid $70 million a year, it's going to get to the point where, okay, you're at Soldier Field, there's a questionable call, this whole stadium's going to erupt on you. And I don't know if in the future if this stadium's going to be in Indiana, Arlington Heights, that's a whole different discussion. But at the end of the day, if you have a good quarterback and you're a winning football team, it's going to become a situation where you're actually getting more calls than you otherwise would, in my opinion.
I hope you're right,
Karl. Let me stop you right there because that is kind of the perfect segue. So yes, so take advantage, dude. We faced Aaron Rodgers. It seemed like every single time there was an opportunity for a free play, he got a free play. Like I don't understand why they don't push these guys into that.
That's not.
He was the.
That's not a referee thing, Paul.
No, but it's taking advantage of a loophole. So like when you do get fucked,
what's the loophole?
The loophole is you got a guy with half a foot on the sideline, and technically you have 12 men on the field. That's not what the rule was made
maybe
for.
the referees going into there, because you know for a fact that the referees have something that's akin to a game plan, right? Like, oh, this guy likes to do this. Oh, this guy likes, Jalen Carter likes to spit on guys. Let's make sure that there's no spit. If you see spit, probably came from Jalen Carter, things like that, right? So with Aaron Rodgers, that's just a skill at the end of the day, right? He mastered his hard count. He was able to have full control of the offense. There's nothing to say that a referee is
Karl,
impacting that specifically.
and like to both you guys, like take a step back and try and approach this conversation with me outside of a just Bears perspective. Let's talk about it from like the general NFL perspective. Every team deals with this, right? Every single team. There's just a handful of referees. We all get them shuffled up, but it's an ongoing issue for everybody, right? So, dude, there's been teams that always push the limits of rules. I mean, in the 70s, you had the Raiders beating the crap out of you with a cast on their arm. The reason why John Madden's still a Saint is because they just never got caught and punished, or maybe they did or whatever. Like, I don't even care. I don't care that the Patriots cheated or whatever, because you still do get screwed during the game for some rules. So sure, find a way to it's like being a crappy job. You're more likely to take the stapler home with you or some shit. You know what I mean? When the opportunity comes to kind of take advantage of something that you typically wouldn't do, you do it if you're getting if on the other side you're getting taken advantage of. And so I think the only thing I ever expect from referees is to just call a game consistently. And when they don't, that's when I start to raise a flag. Like when you've been not calling pass interference all game, and now at the end, when it matters the most, you start doing it. To me, that's BS, right? But there is so much more that execution fixes. I saw games this year that were poorly called, and it was mentioned, but not harped on because we still won.
So the first game that comes to my mind, and I know you told us to take a step back out of this, but the game against the Redskins this year, there was a referee system. I think the whole staff was essentially new. I think it was a rookie system. They sucked. They were awful. So you'd hope that more experience with these referees is going to lead to better calls. And I wanted to interject just a moment ago, as far as being consistent, I think when you reach the playoffs, you want to have it to be where you let these guys play football. You want as little referee intervention as humanly possible. And then I want Shorty
calls, though. Blatant ones, though, yes.
I want Shorty to expound on this, but I will say I have noticed that some things just feel weird, and it from a referee standpoint, and it coincides with the allowing for sports betting on football, first and foremost, right? Like the Bears, when they open up their new facility, wherever that is, that new facility is going to have a bookie on hand. The betting is getting out of hand, in my opinion. And then you have these crazy outlets like, I think it's called Kalshi, that like circumvent and allow you to bet, regardless of age, all this shit. I will say, in the general sense, I wish that the sports betting was effectively abolished. It's too late now. But
the finances of it
are
completely screwed. I mean, they're part-time employees. Dude, you could pay these guys under the table enough to sway a game. Guys, I don't know if you know this or not. Like sharks in Vegas, the guys that live off of gambling, they win like 52 to 55% of the time. It's not much that they're aiming for. They're aiming just to win more often than they lose. And they sit there and make a ton of money doing just that. So if you can sway a game 5-10%, it's not that this team has to lose. It's one, there's you're betting that they lose by a certain amount or something. So if you could just get them close enough so that I still hit my bet or whatever, and two, the refs aren't getting paid enough to where you wouldn't be swayed. They still have careers outside of football. If they lose that job, they're not screwed. They're just fine. So why wouldn't you take payment under the table to sit there? I mean, the whole system is set up to fail, in my opinion. But Shorty, I wanted to mention something to you too. Ian Cunningham. I hate that. I don't want the 2 third-round picks. I mean, I do. Who doesn't want 2 third-round picks? But that whole thing is also just doesn't make sense to me. So you mean to tell me, I look at it what does that really do in this situation? And the only thing I can think of is it almost costs him a job opportunity. It doesn't create one for him. He has job opportunities due to his skill set. Ian Cunningham is damn good at what he does. Now, if he was white, the conversation wouldn't even exist. So like this topic came up of like, do you block him from taking that job because you won't get the 2 third-round picks? And that is just a messed up topic to even have. Dude, I heard it on ESPN. They were talking about it, dude, just get rid of it. Like you create your opportunities through the skill. I know, but one thing, you're shaking your head no. So okay, I'd like to hear it because that was my thought process behind it.
I don't think it should matter. There shouldn't even be I think they should take it a step further. There shouldn't even be a Rooney rule about it. It should be just like in the game. If you lose a player that you drafted or signed and you didn't replace him with someone better than, if you paid more money for someone that you replace him with, or however the fucking, I know it's it's really hard to understand. I know for all of us. Adam Mason, I think thinks he has it down, but I don't really think he does, because I don't think anybody does, because the NFL kind of controls the narrative of it, and that is kind of the point. And to what you first start off with, I do like it because let's just say that the Bears want to trade for, like, let's say right now, because this has nothing to do with us. The Bears are like, what do we have to do to get Max Crosby? Let's just say that they're thinking that. If we got 2 third-round picks in the next 2 draft, one this draft, next draft, we're basically already picking in a high second-round pick as it is. So if
what
we
does
trade,
that have to do with race?
it has nothing to do with race. It has to do with
you get it because of race, and that's my problem.
I think you should get it for everyone. Yes, of course. Yes.
I'd be fine with that. Sure.
But that, just like you do with your players, right? So that being said, the Chiefs got 2 third-round picks for losing Ryan Poles to us as a general manager. And we're losing Ian Cunningham, and now they're just like, fuck you, we're not giving you the two third-round comp picks. And that's total bullshit from that perspective alone. That it happened with our general manager, and the Chiefs got it, but we're not getting it. Hopefully they will, put that to the ringer, and they will finally get them. But as of now, they are not getting them. And this goes to comp picks mean a lot, because if they are thinking they want to trade for a Max Crosby, they're going to get an extra third round pick in the next 2 drafts, which means right now we basically have a high second round pick with such a late first round pick. If we have to trade 2 of those this year and next year to get Max Crosby, at least we get the third round pick, which becomes something equivalent to where we're kind of at in the draft, assuming that we, let's just say win a Super Bowl next year. Then we would have the last pick. If we can get the last pick and we lose the 32nd pick next year to the Raiders, and then let's just say we win it again, we lose the 32nd pick again in 2027 to the Raiders. At least in those 2 drafts, we had an additional third-round pick, which kind of makes up for it, and that's the sweet spot of the draft. So for them to fuck us out of it is like, what is going on? And that's what brings me to conspiracy theory bullshit. Because what else does it? What else does it conspire? Why?
So if Ian Cunningham is white, we don't get fucked out of it. The opportunity just doesn't exist.
But that's
so that's what I mean. Either get rid of
either way. It shouldn't matter.
Or apply it.
If you lose your talent on your team, you should get a compensation pick. The fucking Patriots built a dynasty off of comp picks, man.
I would go as far enough to say, even
go to the Chiefs,
coordinator. If you lose a coordinator to a head coaching position, you should get rewarded like a 4th or 5th round pick. I would even be fine with that. It's not the idea that I have a problem with. It's the fact that it's enforced by race.
But it's the fact that they can just do whatever they want and just decide not to do it this year. What makes them say that they can't give us 2 third-round picks this year? What?
Okay, so let me explain it to you.
There's verbiage.
Matt Ryan.
He's not the head football guy, apparently. Even though
Matt Ryan said it.
Right.
On television.
Again, yeah, it's a complete and utter joke, Shorty. We're in full agreement. All 3 of us, in my opinion, are in full agreement.
The title. It's a technicality.
It is a complete and utter joke. It's all just a calculation. It's probably an outdated rule book. And I promise you, if we don't get these picks, that verbiage is going to get updated, and the Bears will be the poster child for getting fucked over in that regard.
And like I said, the only thing to truly just come from this is the potential of declining letting him go somewhere because you're not going to get awarded, which you could
And
be
here,
awarded
Paul,
if he goes somewhere else. It's just stupid.
This is
And
why you
I'm
wouldn't
happy they
block that
didn't-
move.
And I'm happy they didn't block it.
You watched him get cycle interviews. I feel like it was with the Titans and another. I think this is like his third or fourth round of interviews. Like, we knew that he was going to get a job this cycle. It was just bound to happen. And to eventually have this guy break through and be like, the stupid technicality is not giving us our picks, so fuck you. Like, that would be an unmendable relationship, and he would be a boat anchor to your franchise at that point. You definitely let him go, and you tell the rest of the NFL that we are an organization that wants to develop you, move you on to the NFL. We are a stepping stone, right? That's good. That's a good thing. You want to have the best minds in football in your franchise, and if that moves on to another spot, cool. And yes, you should get rewarded, and you shouldn't get rewarded based on race. As far as the Rooney Rule specifically, and I know we're kind of having two conversations right now, I had this example that I discussed on Bears Country podcast, but for the Bears Key Film side of people, the first thing that comes to my mind with the Rooney Rule is Eddie George. Eddie George was interviewed by the Bears on a very short notice, and when Ben Johnson all of a sudden lost a football game that no one on earth thought he would against the Redskins, thank you, Jaden Daniels, we had to appease the Rooney Rule just to be able to then bring in Ben Johnson and have him start essentially 12 hours after that interview. And it's so unfair to have Eddie George be a guy who is kind of one of those guys you just say, okay, let's get him through the process and kind of have him be an afterthought and labeled as an afterthought. It's garbage. I mean, he was a hell of a running back at Ohio State. I'm sure in his coaching career he's done good things at the spot that he's at. It's just very, very unfair to label a guy like that. So I've heard Greg Gabriel say this in a much more elegant way than I can, but in my opinion, I think that the Rooney Rule is downright racist. So there needs to be a better way to needs to be a better way to handle it, and I think that you should be rewarded for doing that. But it almost feels like it's counterproductive. So I actually really like Shorty's idea is to have your talent, regardless of race. If you are saying, I don't care who it is, if you're going to go on to be something else and we're losing that, because I don't know. The only person on earth who could tell me how important Ian Cunningham was to the Bears is Ryan Poles. And we all know I'm never going to talk to Ryan Poles.
Right,
So
and you're going to get those picks for a black or white player. What does it matter if you get it for a coach or a general manager or an assistant general manager or whatever else, right?
It's the coaching side of things, right? So I agree. It should be
what I'm saying.
If you're losing a general manager level brain in your organization, that is big. That's probably deserving of those picks.
This is a total, no, for real. That's what I mean. It's just this.
I
dumb.
fucking
It's
love
dumb.
Alex.
It's,
I fucking love Alex.
Yeah,
man.
dude, it is the whole concept of it just does not make sense.
Pull that back up, Bearsky. Come on.
sure thing.
Listen, so we're trying out this new dual streaming thing, and before, like, if Bearsky came on mine or I came on Bearsky's, we could stream both to both channels, but we could control our own chats. I have no ability to pull up chat in my
I think
on my
it's
own
always
show
been
right now.
Creator, because you're still
So
technically
next
on
time
my
you do
channel,
this,
on my show.
when you come on my show, I'm going to stream it. We're going to do it the opposite way, so I can pull up my chat because I have 30 people that want to talk, and I want to pull their.
So it's not like it's not your background either. That's kind of
exactly. It's your background,
it's my background.
But
so,
that was fucking hilarious. What did he say?
Imagine BBC porn where they're required to audition a white guy before filming. Like, it's just the whole concept is dumb. Like, so no, dude. There's a specific.
I don't know what to
set.
say.
Well, so here's the thing. Like, a wide receiver gets drafted in the 5th round like Tyreek Hill. His skills, his production allow him to then get traded for 2 first-round picks. Like, you get that for any player because of their skills and productions, right? You earn that draft capital by having a farm system, by doing good. And I'm not sure how it works with coaches or coordinators or this and that, but like, doesn't this even rarely pop up? Like, do assistant GMs really become GMs that often? I mean, I guess how else, right? But so what we're truly trying to do is take these racist billionaires who hire these GMs and try and force them to not be racist. And like, it's just dumb. it's dumb. It really is. Like, you should be totally evaluating people
that's
based
kind of
off
the whole
their skill set. Like,
that's kind of the point of the topic of the show is about the refs and these racist billionaires. They bitch and whine and complain to the commissioner or whoever the hell they do, and it comes down to the smaller market teams, or even like the bigger market teams that have a bigger say. Maybe they're the ones that are like getting the most bitching and complaining, and that get the no calls and the calls that should have been called against in their favor that weren't called. Like to keep the Vikings out of the playoffs, and that fucking blatant Saints pass interference, when our third string quarterback was playing for the Vikings and they should have gone to the Super Bowl that year. Like calls like that, like if they want to get this right, then they need to have a blue flag thrown to be like, whoa, that was a fucking call that you missed, and we need to look at that. Really quickly, let me go back to like the second or third game of the year with the Lions, and this never happened before, and it hasn't happened since, but it should have happened in a Bears game. It was a catch by the rookie Tesla on the right sideline, right before the halftime. They were questioning whether or not he was in bounds on the catch, and then they came out and said, "Oh no, we saw a penalty on this. It's actually an offensive pass interference."
And do you know,
so,
Dan?
Even though it was in favor of them because he was in bounds, they called an offensive pass interference, which shouldn't have even existed because it wasn't a fucking call in the first place, and they gave it back to the other team. So bullshit. If you're going to do it, then let's have a blue flag then.
And the referees know that they can potentially get away with this fixing in that sense because that they know the rules, or at least they should, right? They would know that Tesla play you're referring to is in a situation where there is no coach's challenge. It's only reviewable from, call it, upstairs, a.k.a. Kalshi. Kalshi is upstairs. Right. So there's a lot of corrupt to it. I do actually disagree with Paul's notion of this 5 to 10%. If you pick and choose your spots, you could take that to 20, 30, 40% really quick.
Sure, Carl. And I told you the timing of it is what affects that. The calls being later in the game. And I brought that third down example up. You know what I mean? It is more influenced later in the game because you have so much less time to come back from it. But I'll tell you right now, it did not cost us that game. You were down 14 already. What it did is just twist the knife, but you were already stabbed.
Right.
That stab was self-inflicted.
I don't know,
That's where you
Paul.
had the opportunity to overcome this bullshit.
I don't know, Paul.
Let's go. So if we're going to take that,
Watch
if we're going to take that Lions game that we're talking about with Tesla, let's talk about the Ravens game with the Bears, where OZ he caught that ball, he got head speared. And they're sitting there for 15 minutes trying to decide whether it was a catch because he kind of fumbled it, but then he landed on his back and he caught it. And I'm watching everyone sit there on the television, just like everyone else going, "Oh, did he catch the ball? Did he catch the ball?" It's like, what are you talking about? The question should be, did he get speared in the fucking head by the defender?
And that
another
should have
nuance. Been a defense, a personal foul. And no matter what the call was, we should have gotten 15 yards out of it, just like the Lions got fucked out of. So if they're going to do it to the Lions, keep it going the rest of the season.
We'll get some of those that go your way. Like, there is a little balance with it. What I'm saying is, don't throw a pick in that game. That's fully in your control. You have plenty in your control to fix that would overcome those type of obstacles. And there were a couple games that were called really bad this year, and we won. And so it doesn't matter. You bitch about it less. We only bring up that game because we lost that.
And
one.
the beauty of it is that the head coach is never going to point to that. The quarterback's probably never going to point to that. So, again, it boils down to us. It seems like your gripe is with, when I say us, I mean just Chicago Bears fans, right?
Fans,
NFL football fans,
Narrative,
so, yeah, I mean, maybe a guy like John Fox would be like, man, we really got fucked over by that. But Ben Johnson's never going to do that. So,
I mean, you do. There's calls here and there. There are. But, like, to me, it's dumb because there's got to be context to this. There's just nuance, too. Like, for example, I would watch with the Justin Fields stuff, right? I would watch them run him, have him get annihilated,
speared,
borderline concussed,
bounds,
right? Like, it should be a flag and this and that. And then you know what they do next play? They call a pass play. Like, you want this person to be able to think after that. You know what the Rams did after Stafford got fucking hit real bad? Dude, I'm sitting there going, it's a run because just give them another 2 minutes. Like there is some. So when refs see you being an idiot and putting your own guy in danger pointlessly. So what? You want me to call? Like you want me to save the day for you? There's certain stupid little tiny things that I'm not saying they're overwhelming, Carl, but there's little things along the way too. Like, but the biggest thing is execution. If you went out there and executed properly, like, dude, that's what I mean. That's what the Seahawks did this year. They're just a well-oiled machine, man. Just executing, and it's like, dude, that overcomes so much.
You know, we should, this is like sparking a thought in my head, and even though it's hard for me to do any more podcasts in my life, but if we just did like a weekly referee podcast, the three of us, that'd be awesome.
Do you know how much time? Because like I do watch a lot of football, but to actually like go back and analyze each call, that would be challenging. You'd almost have to just like get lucky in the football game we're watching, like, oh, that sucked, write it down.
Yeah, it's the system though. It's not going to matter unless the system and the approach to the whole thing changes. Like for example, the only incentive they have to call games properly is the they rate them, so they get rated. So the top rated guys get to go make more money and referee games in the playoffs. So you could sit there and butcher it all year, and just don't get extra money.
Well, hold on. If you're so in tune to this, I mean, how hard is it to become an NFL referee? Like, don't you have to be a coach in college as well?
I have no idea, but I know a lot of these guys are like lawyers and things. Dude, they have dude.
I did look it up.
Law firm, like there's some guys that
Google.
They all have careers outside of football.
Yeah, Google is telling me that approximately 130 out of the 155 NFL's hired officials hired for the 2025-2026 seasons also hold other jobs. And I don't want to expound on that. But again, I hear that point. But imagine how hard it is to get to that point, right? Like, sure, Sean Hockley is the son of Ed Hockley. You got the bib, whatever, silver spoon, you made it. Congratulations. But these other guys, these other Jagoffs, even the guys who sucked hard in, the Redskins' house, like, those guys had to work their ass off just to get to that point. And you're telling me that you're going to accept a $10,000 bribe under the table from Kalshi, got. You're going to piss all over the NFL shield, and then you're going to get executed in the hallway? There's no shot.
Carl, I was at the Packers game, the Packers playoff game. At the very end, somebody threw like a couple grand in the air. There was just hundreds flying around in the air at Soldier Field after that game.
Was it actually real money, Paul?
It was real money because somebody won big. They said, if the Bears win, I'm tossing this $5,000 right up in the air because I won 100 or 200 grand if they win. Like, people bet big, and so like when you're talking about large amounts of money,
I think you're sparking another conversation.
It's a different. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't exist. Like, I totally acknowledge it. I believe it exists. I'm saying it's not. I'm not gonna blame it. It's not the factor of why you lost that game or won that game. Like I brought up Romeo Dobbs.
I would say it can have a huge impact. But like, it can,
and it has. Dude, I'll go back to the Bengals and Rams Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl. A lot of money, riding on that game, and they let these guys pretty much box until 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And I kept saying it throughout the game. I swear to God, if I see a pass interference call with under 2 minutes in the fourth quarter, and that is exactly what happened, and the Rams won. And so, like, in that situation, I would be like, yes, the ref really did a good job to screw us there, because I expect consistency out of calls. If you're not calling it in the first half, don't call it in the second half.
That's all you can ask for.
That's all you can ask for, right? And so, like, man, it's really hard to pinpoint. But so, like, why wouldn't you do that? Your job is to throw flags. So, like, why wouldn't you just enforce your job? In fact, you're being paid to do your job better. You just didn't do your job for the first couple, quarters of the game. And then, you throw a flag or whatever. But that, why wouldn't you take $10,000 for that? $20,000 when you make $200,000 off of a part-time job and you still have another full-time gig outside of it?
I don't know, man. I just don't think it's going to get to a point where someone just kind of does that. And I'm sure that there's some, like I said, it feels like there's some shady stuff going on, and it coincides with the time frame where sports betting has become legal. But I would say, here, let me pivot to this. Can you put yourself in their shoes, and especially the Super Bowl, how much pressure that is to try and get it right? Like, I overthink things with my 9 to 5. And at the end of the day, that's a totally unrelatable amount of pressure in comparison to a guy who is determining the outcome of a football game that the 70,000 people in that stadium probably collectively paid, what, $7 billion on their $10,000 tickets?
There's
And then
like
all
five
the
of them,
sports
though.
betting attached to it?
They like all run together in a huddle, and don't they all have to kind of be like, yeah?
I
And the
mean,
flag is thrown.
there is one guy. Is it a white hat? Like, there is one guy who calls the show essentially, and everyone else is just
It's like a
helping.
jury. It's like a jury. There's still one person that speaks for the entire 12.
So let me ask you this then: with all the owners who basically control the league and they pay the fucking commissioner to control the league for them, and they have and lucky enough, the Players Association is allowed to be involved, but only gets so much say in that, which I think they should get more. Like, why wouldn't they all want there to be a blue flag rule when you're challenging a call that was not or was called, and or if not that, then why not have a vote for like any questionable play should be reviewed by the booth? And I know they don't want to make the game longer, but like, who gives a fuck? There is too much at stake in a game that only has 17 games played in it compared to the rest of the other leagues that have 82 plus, games played. There's a lot more at stake. It's only once a week, and they've got all these big money contracts, and they're getting Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. One day they might have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday fucking games playing. So if you're going to do that, if you want to go that route, you want to add an 18th game, well, then you better goddamn well get your shit in gear and make sure that the referees, who are only human, and like you're talking about, to your point, Bearski, it makes good sense. Remember they tried to, in the preseason, add the AI fucking first down,
the virtual measurement, yeah,
and they did in the playoffs too, didn't they?
I'm pretty sure they had that.
Yeah, so you want to do that? Well, then let's get some more AI. And I hate AI. I know you hate AI too, Carl, and I know that I use it, but it's not like there is a good benefit for it. If you can use it in a situation like this to determine whether or not a play is okay, let's just take AI out of it then. Okay, so every single questionable call should either be allowed a blue flag by the coach to go, this was a penalty that you didn't call, and or there is a booth review of those, and they stop it and they say, we're doing a booth review on this.
Terrible idea.
Yeah, no,
I will tell you why. The reason that it's a terrible idea.
Let me finish.
Okay.
On top of that, how often do we watch a game and we're like, oh my God, it's already over? It just seems to fly by. So
you only watch Bears games though, right?
But I watched the Super Bowl, just flew by, right? Like the season's over. No, so if you add another half an hour onto a game because of this, who gives a damn? Go ahead, Carl.
So the reason that opening up Pandora's box in that sense is bad is because I actually think that football should be considered a simple sport. I think that less is more in this scenario. It's like, I don't know if it's like baseball. If you review every single little thing and you have all these specific rules that you're tailoring onto your rule book, you're going to see plays where a defensive tackle bull rushes a guy and it's on like, I don't know, a 3rd and 1. And it's like, it becomes 4th and inches. And if he gets it and they give it to him, you're in a minute to go scenario in the 4th quarter. No, hold on. We have to stop every fucking thing that we're doing because that offensive lineman got trucked so hard. We need to fucking put a CT scan in. We need to use AI in the helmets to make sure that his brain isn't compromised. Do you know how awful of a product that would degrade into?
No, I don't want to go that far.
That's what I'm saying.
I just want to go as far
if you open up the ability to challenge someone potentially getting hit in the head, it's hogwash.
No,
I think that's silly.
So you could challenge like a holding on a touchdown pass.
That's bad. There's holding on every single play.
You don't need to change the game. You don't need to change the game. You need to change the approach in which you handle these referees as employees. That's what's actually going to make more of a difference. Yeah, so you say that, Carl, but you read the stat. 130 out of 155 have second jobs. Guys, if this was a full-time gig.
Do you know why?
If this was a full-time gig,
I'll look at the salaries.
Would be more dependent on it. You would be more dependent on it. Right? You would not want to get fired. Right now, they probably don't care if they get fired or not because they're still okay. And so that would be number one.
Stop, Dan. Let me shoot Paul's idea.
Number two, real
with
quick.
a pistol.
Let me just say this. Shorty, you know who cares
Let him
about
finish.
extending games 30 minutes? You know who cares about extending games 30 minutes? The channel it's being broadcasted on. They have show scheduled, things like that. That's why typically after that follows news, because news isn't a show you're getting money from. It's just your internal product that you could whatever. It just, you know what I mean? Like,
So
but
Or like the new premiere of
they
Chicago
have to keep it
911.
within a certain amount of time, though, just due to the broadcasting and what. Okay,
Yeah, you do need to have the game in a confined
go ahead, Carl.
space.
Yeah, about the employment.
Here's the thing, okay? AI, Google, is telling me that NFL referees earn approximately $8,000 to $10,000 per regular season games, and many will operate off of a standard average salary of $200,000. You're telling me that you can make $200,000 in 20 weeks, and you would not choose to make more money on top of that? I'm telling you, it's so hard. It's so hard to become an NFL referee that if you have the drive and determination, you're probably busting out the Adderall. Like, you're going to tell me that after 20 weeks, you're just going to be like, no, I'm good. I'm going to play Arc Raiders. Fuck that. Of course you're going to have another job.
All right, back, guys. I got to take a leak.
So yeah, no, it's not like this is just an afterthought, man. This is a highly prestigious job. For me to say, yep, I was a referee in the NFL, that is fucking badass, dude.
Carl, they don't care like we care. Like, it's badass for us because we're football fans. What they are is they're obviously making money. And so, like, dude, like I said, if you're making $200,000-$300,000 a year as a lawyer, right, at your own firm or whatever, this and that, $200,000 for a part-time gig, and then you're saying, why wouldn't you take an extra 10? Are you kidding me? To add an extra $20,000 to make a call or two, like this and that. This is a job. It's a job. It's they're not pursuing a hobby or a fucking passion. They're working, right? And so it's different. And for that, I would want them to be full-time because I would want them to fucking practice more at their job, be good at their job, not just be part-time. Like I said, there's got to be some type of
hold on. What is comparable? What is comparable to the NFL product? The only thing that's comparable to the NFL is the NCAA, and that happens at the exact same fucking time. There's nothing else that they could do. You want them to go to the XFL and referee a whole different fucking sport where they could get tainted about, oh, the ball bounced off that shitty net. Oh, that guy flipped over the wall. No, there's no comparison. So get these guys in the NFL, have them do the best that they can. And like I said, you've got to have a special drive and determination just to make it to that point. And then I would imagine you guys, whether it's Roger Goodell or whoever, I don't know who's in charge of hiring referees, you got to vet them. You got to know that they're not just refereeing for a paycheck. Oh, can't wait till this game is over so I can pork my wife and play Arc Raiders. No, they got to have love and integrity for the game. Because if they don't, they're going to get compromised by Kalshi. They are going to say, I don't care, Isaac Tesla, that was a penalty, whatever.
They are getting compromised, for sure. Like, that happens. It has, dude, it does happen. It's just not talked about and not brought up because it's bad, dude. And the NFL has great, I'm surprised we're still fucking streaming. Like, dude, they have great control over media and media content that comes out. Like, nobody talks about how the president of the Washington Redskins, when they were still the Redskins and they were still owned by Dan Snyder, they sat there and they offered their cheerleaders a vacation to a different country. He took their passports for it and then held them there hostage and took naked pictures of them. Are
you suggesting, Paul?
And the person that went down for that is John Gruden.
Paul,
when they went in there to raid the computers,
right?
Dude, this is stupid. You know how powerful the NFL is? You know what that should have been? Like, dude, stop. Like,
are you suggesting to me that Dan Snyder and all of the Redskins cheerleaders were getting pimped out on Little St. James Island, Paul? Is that what you're saying?
No, but there was a court case What I do know is that there was a court case about it that is not mentioned at all in the media and the news, and it's kind of like wiped clean and forgotten about. And that is the power of the NFL. That is the power of Roger Goodell. So when you sit there and you have this a clear like mob influence on games to be swayed, and that's the key word though, is swayed. It's not won or lost unless it's sometimes the Super Bowl. And my thing is like, okay, it's probably going to happen regardless, not because you don't have control. It's money.
Here's one thing.
What you do have control over, you're sucking at. Like, how about this? How about maybe we just lost the game because we suck? And that's where my mind goes. Like,
Here's the thing.
Start making more fucking plays.
You inadvertently actually just gave us the resolution and what used to be the old way of things, right? I think that betting is a dangerous, nasty business that could end up getting you killed. I would say that ring of money should be handled by people who are capable of killing, a.k.a. the mob. So when the betting was handled by the mob, things were a lot better because it was more legitimate. Now you could just piss out your paycheck on Kelsey, and here you go. So
I'm saying that
welcome back, Dan.
5%
Thank you.
that you buy can make you a lot more than you probably, you know what I mean? Like, dude, that's all. If you know it, I said these guys make 52 to 55%. They live off of that, Carl. So if you know you have a little edge in the
You
game,
can't.
for whatever reason, man, it's value. That is a lot of value to somebody.
You won't be able to reason to me the side of betting. I will never get behind it. So I hear the argument, but it's something to where I'll just never accept.
Yeah, I don't bet at all. So like,
I just think that this just
guys,
again
I'm more
back
worried
to,
about
back
fucking
to
our guys being good.
back to summarize the conversation of tonight. The season that we had was so special. It was so special that it should have been the first-year head coach, second-time head coach, first-year head coach against a rookie head coach with second-year quarterbacks from the same draft, first pick, third pick. It would have been crystal meth for the NFL. And we got enough what we needed out of those calls this season. Some we should have gotten, some we did get. But I'm worried that now that the NFL sees where we're at, that we're just going to. I think we need to be concerned about next season. That
No.
I do.
Let me promise
I can't
you this.
see them gifting us fucking no calls.
Let me promise you this, Dan. If the Bears, and I'm not saying that Caleb Williams will only give us 75% of what we got from him in 2025, but if we get 75% of 2025 Caleb Williams in 2026, Caleb Williams will be signing a contract akin to $70 million per year, and we will actually become one of the most hated teams in the NFL because the referees will realize that Caleb Williams is the NFL's golden boy. He's already there, in my opinion.
I'm expecting 110%.
I don't think it's going to be
better,
70
not
million.
worse.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the bar was so high already that if we just get even a small sample of that, this quarterback is going to be making at least $70 million per year. Has no idea with my prediction expectations. I think the quarterback could get twice as good.
Yeah, no, that's what, and you want, and it's still
But that's a whole different conversation.
It's still the same money at the end of the day, and that's why you do want them to get twice as good, because you don't want them to be just good enough to where you have to pay them, because that's not. Then you're not going to get your money's value. But Shorty, when we do win, and we are holding up that Super Bowl trophy, and you realize that 2025, as magical of a season as it was just the start.
It's just the tip. Just the tip.
Just the tip. It's just the
Wait,
tip.
wait. So you're saying the Bears only stuck the tip in?
Correct.
Yeah, dude. This was a
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Of course. Second year quarterback, first time.
As soon as the bet comes out, I'm not a betting man, and every time I bet, I lose. So maybe I shouldn't do this, but because I put $100 down on Caleb to win Rookie of the Year, I would have won $7,000. That would have.
Do not bet Caleb to be the MVP, Dan. Just so you know.
Well, I think he's going to be the MVP.
There's no money. There's no money to be made. He's like the overwhelming odds-on favorite and most frequently betted. So if you bet $100,000, you might get $110,000 back. Like there's no money to be made.
Interesting.
I didn't know there was even odds on it yet. I'm not a bettor, so I don't know that shit.
I see the crap on Twitter all the time. Caleb Williams is the overwhelming favorite and most betted on.
Steve Rogers says the wife hates playing just the tip. By the way, Steve Rogers, Carl, he was supposed to be our guest last week.
Not a more honest comment throughout this whole show than Steve Rogers right there.
She totally hates it, but we love it, don't we, right?
Is Shorty talking from experience?
Yeah, of course we are.
Whoa!
All men are talking that.
No, I thought you were talking about like. No, never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, just teasing her with just the tip.
That's where Alex crosses the line. I can't put that one up.
So next week or last week, Steve Rogers was supposed to be our guest, Carl, and I totally forgot. And I saw his email. By the way, Steve, I emailed you back tonight before this show. So if you would like to join us next week, then I just wanted to let you know, Carl, that Steve Rogers will be our guest on BCP next week, and I can't wait to talk to him. So,
yeah, maybe me and Steve can do the magic mushrooms that Steve mentioned in Adam Mason's comments. Adam Mason texted me one day. He's like, "Do you know the Steve Rogers guy? Is he your friend?" It was pretty funny.
I've got an ounce of magic mushrooms in my freezer right now. I could do some on the show if you want.
I mean, dude,
Teams Care 1735. Teams Care 1735 with a comment of the show. He said, "What's another 2 inches?"
Bearski's like, "What are you doing to my channel right now, guys? I'm trying to talk Bears."
No, I love it. Like, dude, to me, this
Bearsky, you've always been like a straightforward, just Bears talker. No side talk. I don't want to talk about pizza or just tip. Just Bears. That's what I love about you.
Little wieners. That's what you want to talk about? Yeah, because every time I'm like, okay, so like I go right back into it. I don't know, man. I just feel like we're coming to the end of the show, so I figured I just kind of.
Yeah, I do too. I've been here like 21 minutes past what I thought we were going to do. So
yeah, there's so many excuses out there all the time, left and right. I hear it all the time. So many obstacles, and it's like, but when you win, they're not a problem. It's not a problem that Aaron Rodgers was the most sacked quarterback when he won a Super Bowl. It's not a problem that what is it? What the hell is his name? The quarterback that was the third string on the Bears that won the Super Bowl for the Eagles, Nick Foles. It was a problem that you did not have Carson Wentz starting. If you just figure it out and you win, otherwise that turns into we didn't win because we didn't have Carson Wentz and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, no, execution, you can go get it done. I loved what the Patriots did with Malcolm Butler, I believe it was. Dude, they set their starting corner for a Super Bowl. Still plan to go out there and win.
And he wins the game.
Well, here, hold on.
That's where
didn't that boneheaded head coach Bill Belichick miss out on the Hall of Fame, Paul? Isn't that a fact?
Sure, but I mean that's a whole other topic.
That's a whole other show. That's a conspiracy in itself, Carl.
The refs will not stop you if you are good enough.
Little St. James Island gets what they want.
They are obstacles, but they're not unachievable or like unable to be overcome. What is dude, in the Rams game, I was there at the half.
I want to hear about this.
After the half mark, I look at the giant board. I was like, look at that. I go, we struggled with penalties all year. We currently are in our second playoff game at the half point, and we have 0 penalties. And I'm like, good job, guys. You fucking cleaned up your execution.
What's up?
Because in the long run, that's what's going to matter the most. Go out there, play clean football, execute, get the job done. And, dude, that's what's going to dictate whether you win or lose games more than a bad call here or there.
Let's hear it, Paul, because you and Dave, when I was doing stuff with you more regularly, I'll be very blunt with you. You and Dave were both extremely negative of the quarterback, and it drove me nuts. You watch this kid do something that I don't think has ever been done in a football field at any level on earth. When you watch that, did you get goosebumps? Do you start crying? Yeah. Caleb Williams made me cry this year. Dude, Carl, I've never cried over a football game.
Carl, that's why I posted a video of our predictions from the last 3 years. I said it at the beginning of the year. I know what I have in Caleb Williams. It's not that we're so negative about it. It's just that our bar is high and he wasn't meeting it. You don't.
Yes, he was to me.
Yeah,
not in the first 8 weeks.
You have
not in the first 8 weeks.
You have
after
always
week
been
9. week 9 moving forward, Caleb Williams got the damn job.
You have always been a half glass full guy, my friend. Caleb Williams has always been my guy from before we even drafted him. And
do you mean half glass empty, Dan?
Half glass empty.
Yeah,
Thank you, Carl.
Yeah,
yes.
that's right, Dan.
Always been a half glass empty guy. And I was sitting there with Justin Fields going, God, I'm already jealous of the team that's going to draft Caleb Williams. I can't believe, like, the Bears will never have the first pick again. And if they did, they're going to just invest it more and more into Justin Fields and blah, 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 blah. Like, I always knew that Caleb Williams was the answer, man. Like, I can't even believe last year happened with all the bullshit coming out of the fan base, shitting all over him. It made no sense to me. Like, what are you guys looking at?
52%.
Where are your eyeballs? Like, take off your glasses, guys.
Carl,
maybe your glasses don't work because
he
fucking broke records last year as a fucking rookie quarterback for the NFL and the Bears. And I know the Bears records don't matter because quarterback records don't matter for the Bears, but he broke a shitload of them for both NFL and Bears. So, like, I love
now
seeing,
my glasses half full.
I love seeing the haters die this
Don't
year.
change.
They are gone, and I love seeing you now becoming a glass half.
It's about 3/4 full. It's about 3/4 full.
And you know why? Because if he goes out there and they go like 0-4 next year, guess what?
You're going to turn on him.
It's called
You're going to turn on him. You're going to turn on him. Oh, my
It's
bar is
not
so high.
Meeting expectations.
I'm predicting
I was not satisfied at week 8. I was not satisfied at week 8.
They're going to start the season next year 8-0, dude. That's
Well,
my
then
Even if they don't.
Book it. Keep the receipt.
Listen, guys, I want him to keep getting better and better and better. But they're like the bumps along the way were a little rough at times.
They were not.
But what did he do in the playoffs? In the playoffs, he threw for 350 yards twice. Like that's a big high for him compared to what he did during the season. Like, dude, the kid kept getting better. But just like we talked about it with all the other stuff, the timing of it all overcomes everything. As much as struggled when it mattered the most, he was at his best, and that is worth that struggle. But you just got to clean that shit up and make it easier on yourself. But
do you know how you clean that up, Paul? Do you know how you clean that up? You get experience in a system with a head coach that is no longer a rookie or a quarterback that only has 2 years in the NFL, 1 year being with fucking Shane Waldron.
Preach it.
But what you're missing out on is if he doesn't have those miracles, which that's what they were. They were miracle times.
And you're going to ask for Bajan, and you're going to say, how many picks can we get for Caleb?
No.
It's asinine.
No, stop, Carl. If he doesn't, then what you're left with is a shit fucking product all the way through, right? So what I'm saying is there's still a lot there to work on. Yes, Caleb has proven everything I needed him to prove. He's not amazing. Like, dude, Adam Mason, Carl, predicted a 5,000-yard rookie season. First he hated on him. Yep. The fingernail bullshit.
I mean,
he
he
predicted a 5,000-yard rookie season.
Is the 5,000 yards really that off the mark, though, with all the things considered? Obviously, we overlooked that offensive line in 2023, but the core around him and everything else, it was plausible. It was plausible. Right. We had no idea how bad Tevin Jenkins is. Thanks a fucking lot, Tevin Jenkins, right? We can accept that we were wrong on the offensive line.
No, you know who I blame, Carl?
Hey, just so you're aware, Paul.
How are you with timeouts?
I like to call them.
Week number 3 of the 2025 NFL season at Soldier Field in Chicago saw former Bears head coach Matt Eberflus as the defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys.
Good call him by the whoever this coordinator was. And that would be me.
But you know when to call him?
Yeah.
Botched at the end by the Bears.
Like 30 seconds left, kind of scrambling. You got a timeout in your pocket, maybe call it?
Yeah, if you need it, you call it.
Okay. All right. That's good.
The Bears vanquished